Kia ora Aotearoa, Angus Hines here at Met Service. We're looking at the severe weather which is moving towards the country at the moment. Been a couple of calm, sunny, glorious days really around the nation, but that is set to change on Thursday. Hasn't really happened yet. If we look at the satellite, we can see this big mess of cloud over the Tasman Sea heading our way. A lot of rain and some strong wind coming in with this, but it's only just sort of started to make an impact on the lower parts of the South Island. But through the rest of Thursday, we turn to the pressure map and the forecast. Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, rain hits large parts of the country overnight tonight into tomorrow as well. It's rainy and it's windy in many areas, and in response to that, our severe weather forecasters have issued a whole raft of severe weather warnings for what is to come in the next 24 to 48 hours. So let's waste no further time, get into the detail, see which areas are under warning. We'll start at the bottom of the country, work our way upwards with the rain warnings. The first one is in place for Fiordland, that is this region down here north of Dusky Sound. That warning starts 4 p.m. on Thursday, runs through the night and then into 10 a.m. on Friday morning, over which time probably more than 100 millimetres of rain will fall in that part of the country. Working our way up the coastline, broad warning in place for the Westland region. This one does last a little bit longer, kind of comes in a couple of different pulses with some rain tonight, then it eases off a bit tomorrow, then some rain returning through the second half of the day tomorrow. So we've just clumped that all into the one warning area, 4 p.m. Thursday through until 9 p.m. on Friday. So a day and a half of pretty heavy rain there over that time. Up to 300 millimetres of rain is possible in the ranges, maybe 400 in select spots as well. So some really, really big numbers expected around Westland over the next couple of days. Down at sea level, those numbers are likely to be closer to 100, but still a really, really wet day throughout that entire Westland region. There's a long skinny warning in place. That's this one here. That's for the Canterbury headwaters. Those are the parts of the mountains that feed the Canterbury lakes and feed the Canterbury rivers. So even though the heavy rain doesn't get across to coastal places, it is going to rapidly top up those rivers. So do expect even all the way down through Christchurch for those rivers to rise quite quickly in the next couple of days. Could see 200 millimetres of rain in this narrow part of the country, just on that eastern side of the main line of mountains. Continuing northwards, a small warning is in place for the ranges of the Tasman area. That one's from 9 p.m. tonight through until 6 a.m. tomorrow. So a slightly shorter burst of quite intense rain there. Then onto the North Island, a narrow rain warning is in place for the Tararua Range. That's on Friday. Early hours of Friday morning is when that starts, 3 a.m. Goes through Friday morning into Friday afternoon before clearing by 6 o'clock. About 100 millimetres over that time, and we're looking at sort of similar timing for this warning over Taranaki Maunga there, Mount Taranaki. Early hours of Friday morning through until Friday evening, and could see up to 200 or 250 even of rain around the mountain there. There are a number of yellow areas on the map. Those are all our heavy rain watches. These are the places which, with current information, look like they won't quite breach those thresholds to get heavy rain warnings, but it's looking close. So they're on watch, and these yellow areas can get upgraded to warnings pretty quickly. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you're in any of these southern places. Southland, Central Otago, Queenstown Lakes, all under heavy rain watch at the moment. Northern parts of Westland into Bulla, parts of Marlborough as well, and then across the North Island, some of the areas around the Central Plateau and the far east of the Bay of Plenty. As this rain is coming in through the next couple of days, the wind is really going to ramp up as gale force north or northwesterlies cross the country. The low moves to the south, but the strongest axis of wind actually crosses central Aotearoa. That's the red through the arrows late Thursday, early Friday. So we've got some pretty large wind warnings as well. This big orange area here is the Canterbury High Country, and that entire region is under a warning for severe northwest gales from 9 p.m. Thursday night through to 9 p.m. Friday night. That's 24 hours of potentially a damaging wind, so do try and secure your loose structures on your property. Watch out in tall vehicles and motorbikes as well. Similarly, we've got a warning in place for very strong wind around Marlborough and Wellington. This one doesn't last quite as long, but it goes from 11 p.m. Thursday through until 9 a.m. on Friday morning. And much like the heavy rain watches, we've got strong wind watches, which are areas that are going to take a battering, but that wind might not quite be strong enough to be warning material. But do keep an eye out for a really windy day along the western South Island, Banks Peninsula, southern parts of Wairarapa, and this area here in the southwestern corner of the North Island. So plenty of action across our maps through Thursday into Friday. Good news is it is settling down in time for the weekend, but we've got that nasty weather to get through first. If you would like to see the latest, head along to metservice.com. That's it from me. Kia pai te rā.